Real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm actually in NC. I'm gonna have to go to that race.
that actually putting mange on a Charlotte car would, because it's Charlotte. Charlotte's, I don't know what it is about Charlotte, but Charlotte feels more redneck than everything else, even though the facility is so nice. I think it's because that one movie with Channing Tatum where they steal money from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's got what's his name in it. That was shit.
Did Kid from Star Wars? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it too. And what's his name's also in it. They have to break out of the James Bond dude. He's in it.
Yeah,
Remember?
he is.
They have to break him
Daniel
out.
Craig, yeah, he's in it.
Daniel Craig, yeah.
That's a good movie, and it made me feel like Charlotte's just more redneck than everything else. And I'm like, yeah, having a Shane on the side of the Charlotte car would make a lot of sense.
So here's the thing about Charlotte, because I've grown up in North Carolina. At one point in time, Charlotte was not a residential city. It was just a business district, right? So the city itself is built up really nice, but it was only X amount of years ago they started actually putting condos and shit inside the city area.
Yeah.
So like used to, you could go to Charlotte on a Sunday, lay down in the middle of the street, and nobody would run you over. Like because it just shuts down on Sunday. Like there's no business open because nobody's at work. So it's just a vacant ghost town. Now, I mean, like, they got Carolina Panthers and, all of this stuff. I remember when the Charlotte Hornets was first being like a thing. Like I don't know. Charlotte's weird because it's also on the border of North and South Carolina, so they pull people in from everywhere.
Yeah.
Now I hate to say it, but South Carolina a little too south.
Yeah.
A little too rednecky.
I stayed in a bed and breakfast in South Carolina, and it was like in this really weird historic district in some city. I can't remember what. And I stayed in this old ass mansion, and it was so rickety and small and like out of code, obviously, but it was historic, and it was really nice. I like went upstairs, went to sleep, woke up. There was a cat on me. I was like, "Whose cat is this?" I go downstairs. There's like an old lady that's just walking around, like knocking on the doors, like handing people slices of freaking what is that, pound cake? Like an old lady just walked upstairs, give me some pound cake at like 12 at night. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. So I like South Carolina, but yeah, North Carolina. No, you know what? That reminds me how Charlotte used to be not shit and now it's shit. When I was growing up, I lived on this road called Rabbit Town Road, and I remember, and I feel like a lot of people forget this like in their life because I think when I was a kid, we were more technologically related to the 20s than we are now. So I remember growing up and you go out on my main road and it was a dirt road.
Yeah.
And it went all the way to the like freeway, which was a 2-lane freeway. And I remember just one day they paved all of it. And then there was businesses everywhere. And then the 2-lane freeway is now an interstate, like freaking huge bump roads, all like 6-lane. It's just so weird how it all changed like overnight. And there was a place called the Crossroads. This old guy, Hoyt, ran it. He's like 100 years old. You'd walk in, and he's just this old ass dude, like barely alive. These old crank pumps. He had like fan belts just hanging on little hooks behind him, little fan belts for like
the fan belts.
Yeah, and like oil filters and shit. It was like so humble. And then you just 10 years pass, and all that's gone, and it's all modernized. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. So I grew up like near Wilkesboro Speedway. So every weekend, like the major like 2-way interstate or whatever, would just be bumper to bumper, right? With people just sitting trying to get to the race. Obviously like I guess the qualifying race and then the race itself. And our whole ecosystem was set up like basically on little diners and shops, selling NASCAR cars and memorabilia and all that stuff, right? And I grew up around NASCAR. One of my friends, his dad was like the mechanic for Junior Johnson.
Yeah.
So I would go to his house, and they were just rich with like swimming pool. I came from a trailer park.
Same.
Let me just explain. I came from a trailer park.
Same. Yeah.
So like, I go to my friends and he's telling me we're like like in 8th grade. He's like, yeah, don't tell my mom that my dad took me to a party, like a garage party or whatever, and like they had a stripper pop out of a cake.
Oh my God.
This is around the time the Under Siege came out, and there was that scene with the Baywatch girl coming out of a cake. So a lot of people, they're like, "Wow, really? Your dad let you see boobs?" He's like, "Yeah, real boobs," and it's like the dumbest shit.
Real
And
boobs.
for people who don't know, part of Days of Thunder, the Tom Cruise movie, was actually filmed at that speedway. And so they come through and they tear down our trailer. They're like, "We're buying it up." And I'm like, "But this is our trailer." It turns out it ain't our trailer. Like, we pay lot dues.
Yeah.
We get kicked out of trailer. We don't even know. And they're like, "No, we got to widen the interstate because there's so much traffic going to this speedway. So everybody has to relocate and move." I'm like, "Can I at least get my dog out from under the trailer?" I'm like, "Come on, boy. Come on. I know you got 3 legs, but we gotta go. We gotta go." And then they're tearing down all the trailer park, and all these businesses are having to move, but it's going to boost the economy. And you know what happened? You know what happened at the end of that? They shut down the speedway.
Yep. Wilkesboro. Yeah, they shut that down.
It's like you kicked everybody out of the trailer park to widen the interstate, and then you're like, "Let's move the race somewhere else."
Yeah, as in
now
94.
nobody. It's just like this 4-lane, like multiple lanes of interstate in like one bum ass pickup truck going down. It's like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Even the mall in Wilkesboro shut down because there was no traffic. Like it was like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, the weird thing, they stopped it. The last race was in 94. They reopened it though. They redid everything, and it's they're racing there again this year for like the 2nd year in a row, which is pretty insane.
2nd year racing again. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking wild. Saul says Nina just got a $500 super chat on
Rumble.
Jesus Christ.
On Rumble. I didn't know they even had money on Rumble. That type of money.
Yeah. I get a $500 super chat like once every 6 months. It's like the craziest shit every time it happens.
I get nothing on Rumble.
Manny says, "You remember Possum Trot Road?" I do. I remember Possum Trot. I remember that one road that was beside the mill pond. It was called Old something Road. Old something. I can't remember. It was where one of my friends lived.
I think everybody has an old something road.
Yeah, it was like Old something. They had this place called the Mill Pond, and it was literally like a creek with a water purification plant to the left of it, and just like used needles everywhere. And kids would just go out there and swim. And you jump off the bridge and land in like shallow water, and like people getting hurt every 2 seconds. And we just kept swimming. I don't know why we did that. It's gross. It's the grossest place in the world. And now they put a picnic table out there. I drove through there like a few years ago, and there's a damn picnic table out there now because they know little kids go out there and swim next to that freaking creek water.
Dude, I used to go swim in the creek with the broken beer bottles.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. There was really broken beer
You ever
bottles.
went tubing? You ever went tubing?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's the most redneck water sport ever.
Oh my God.
You just get a inner tube. You go down, you get your buddy to drive you at one end of a river, and you get a 6-pack, and you just float down, and you rely on your buddy to be down there to pick you up at the other end. That is the most redneck way to pass time.
Dude,
it's got to be the top 5. It's got to be the top 5.
There's this place close to where I live now. Well, it's about an hour north. It's called Little River Canyon. I think that's what it's called. And there's just rapids and shit. Just rapids. And you get out there in a tube, and you're just going over these rapids. It's so dangerous. I would never do it. But when I was a kid, I did it because I was stupid. And I took my dog out there recently, German Shepherd. I had him on, and he would swim. He'll just swim. If you go out there, he has to save you. He starts screaming. He starts swimming towards you. And then he gets halfway there. He's really old, so he just runs out of energy. So he'll just drown. So he'll just start sinking. And I have to go out there and grab his giant. He's huge. He's like a big German Shepherd. And I have to grab him, and I have to wade back to the land, and then put it back on the water. And then I'll like start going back out into the middle of the rapids again. And he just jumps out and starts going again. I'm like, dude, he's like trying to save me. And he'll try to save kids. Kids can't go out there because my dog would jump in and try to save the kids or kill them. I don't know what he's trying to do, to be honest. I've never
He might be trying to drown them.
What he usually does is he'll get to you, and then he'll put his body on you and then just like wiggle and start screaming. And you're like, he doesn't save anybody. You just die. I think he's trying to attribute to your death because he doesn't really know what to do when he gets to you. He just gets to your ass. He's like, all right, I'm here now. What do I do? And I'm like, I guess we're dying together. Like, don't die without me. That's his whole concern. Please don't die without me.